What's up guys, One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 34 of our fairy tale reviews. And in this episode we get a little bit of a backstory behind Jellal, the man behind the tattoo on his face, and what his connection is with Seagrain. And also there is a lot of back and forth between points in time and points like in place, you know, like different areas of the world and then different times. It's pretty hectic this episode, so bear with me guys as I try to explain everything as best as I personally can. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. It really means a lot that you guys hit the like button, and be sure to comment the question of the day down below and follow me on Twitter, both which will be in the description down below. And also share with everybody you know would like this type of review, because like I say in every single episode, this is not like any other review. This is a recap, a step-by-step of what happens, why it happens, all that good stuff. And with all that said, let's get this mother underway. Alright, we begin this episode off in Era, which is where the Magic Council is, and they are deliberating about the Tower of Heaven and this R system, whatever this R system might be. And one thing they somehow keep talking about is Jellal, and apparently Jellal is Seagrain's twin brother. So that is pretty freaking ridiculous. I thought it was Seagrain because, you know, they're exactly the same because they got the, you know, the little tattoo on their face. So that's pretty interesting that they're both twins and that they both happen to have that marking on their face. So now we're in the sea, or the ocean, or the bay, whatever you want to call it. We're in the water, and the squad, along with Juvia, so I guess Juvia is a part of the squad now, and they're all looking for Urza and Happy, who went into the Tower of Heaven, and they see all these fish, you know, rising up because they're dead. They see all the birds flying, and then dive bomb the water because they die, and then they finally see the Tower of Heaven. Big, giant, ugly looking thing. And in the Tower of Heaven, our girl Urza is being held captive in like this jail cell, and Miliana's, you know, cat bindings or whatever, you know, all that good stuff. And we learn that Urza's got to be like a sacrifice to this R system, and so she's got to, you know, get prepped for this ceremony that they're gonna have. And as Urza is tied up to this little hook on the wall, she gets like a little flashback, and we see little kid versions of everybody. And I did notice something, but I can't say just yet because they're, you know, massive spoilers. But if I remember when the time comes, I'll let you guys know. But it was something that occurred to me when I was watching this flashback, and it is mind-blowing. Like, I just realized it, but I'll get to that, you know, when the time comes. But anyways, we see Jellal as a little kid, and he seems like a good guy, so I don't know why he's a bad guy now. He seems like a very brave and heroic little kid. And apparently Urza got punished back when she was a child back in this day, which was 10 years ago. And she got punished because she was blamed for trying to escape with her friends off the island. So, you know, the cult who was occupying the island decided to punish her, and we don't know what punishment they decided to do yet. And now we go back to the present day, and Urza is explaining that she knows what this R system is. And what the R system is short for revive system, and it's kind of like I believe it's the Edo Tensei from Naruto, and it's like this forbidden black magic, and it has the power to, you know, with countless sacrifices, you're able to bring back a person from the dead. So I don't know who they're going to bring back from the dead. I don't know why they're going to bring back said person from the dead. So there's still a lot of missing pieces to this puzzle. And of course, Urza being like this strong woman, she breaks free and she just beats down Sho. And she's like, wow, Sho, I can't believe this happened to you. What has Jellal done to make you be like this? Because back in the day, Sho used to be a little pansy boy, okay? He used to be a little... he used to be like Armin in Attack on Titan. I don't like Sho, probably because of his voice. His voice is pretty annoying, but I digress. So now Jellal finds out that Urza broke free, and he finds out that the squad has entered the fray, has entered the Tower of Heaven, and he's just taking this as one big giant game. And so I think that's pretty interesting. He's like, okay, so they're getting past stage 1. Let's see how they do against the next stage. So I guess they have to go like floor by floor by floor until they reach the top floor, where I'm guessing Jellal is staying at. And back at Era, the Magic Council is, you know, still deliberating on what to do about Jellal and what to do about the Tower of Heaven / the R system. And Seagrain is imposing that they use Etherion, and Etherion is one of the most powerful magics out there. It has the power to wipe out an entire nation, and if I'm correct, that means it has the power to wipe out the United States, pretty much. So that's pretty freaking ridiculous. And they need, I believe there's 9 council members, so they need 5 people. And so far, Seagrain and Ultir and this one guy with glasses or whatever are in for using Etherion on the Tower of Heaven. Anyways, back to the Tower of Heaven. The squad finally makes it inside the actual building instead of, you know, being on the island itself. They make it inside, and they fight all these guards, and they make super quick work. Jellal welcomes them in, but not like face to face. He like opens like a door, this like bridge thing comes out, and they walk in, and they see a big giant table in like this dining hall. And of course the squad wants to eat and replenish their energy, so that's exactly what they do. As the squad is eating and enjoying their meal, a bunch of guards come in, and they're like, okay, now we gotta fight. And then Urza comes in and starts slashing and dashing and slicing and dicing every single guard. And she sees the squad, and she's like, what are you guys doing here? You guys need to get out of here. And Natsu's like, no, 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 no. I'm not leaving here until I show Blockhead what it, like, until I pay back Blockhead for shooting me right in the mouth. And I want to get Miliana. So Natsu runs off, and then Urza's telling the squad, she's like, look, you guys have to leave, please. And she actually starts crying, which is very weird because I've never seen Urza cry. She's a very strong woman, and you know, like, with a character that strong, you know something's wrong when they start crying. That's very unique moment. And of course the squad doesn't want to go because they are the team, they are a team, they're like a family because they are in Fairy Tail, and they just don't want to leave no matter how much Urza asks them to. So Urza gets a little bit, you know, happy about, you know, her team not wanting to leave her behind. And so she's like, okay, well, before we start heading out, let me tell you like a little bit of a story behind what all this is. So about a decade ago, which is about 10 years, so 10 years ago, this cult of like black magic users kidnapped like all these people, including kids, and used all of them as slaves to force them to build this giant Tower of Heaven, which is the R system, because they wanted to revive someone. I don't know who yet. And we see everybody as a child. We see Jellal, you know, being the good guy, and we also see Urza at her punishment, and her punishment was like, I guess they took out her eye or something, because Jellal was like, Urza, your eye, and he was like real concerned. And so I don't know what the situation behind that was. So all these black magic guards, I guess, decide to take Jellal instead of Urza, and they throw Urza back in her cell, and she's like, okay, we have to fight, we have to stand up for our freedom, obviously these chumps aren't going to let us go. And so she beats up a few guards, and she's like, we have to do this for the sake of everybody, for the sake of Jellal, for the, you know, for the sake of freedom, pretty much. And so they start to fight, and then Urza's like narrating, and she says that something horribly wrong happened to Jellal. And we see Jellal as like a little child, and he's like kind of tied up against a pole, and he looks up and gives like this evil, sinister look. And I'm guessing he got possessed because there's like a lot of dark energy around him. So something or someone used magic to possess Jellal. And I'm guessing that person or that thing is still inside of Jellal to this very day. And that is the end of the episode of this fairy tale. Alrighty guys, you already know I don't like to end off these episodes without a question of the day. And today's question for the day is regarding Jellal and Seagrain's relationship and their twin brotherhood. And my question for you guys is, do you guys have any brothers or sisters? That's about the gist of the question. So let me know down in the comments. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Now me, I sadly do not have a brother or a sister. I would like to have a brother or a sister, but you know, I don't. So yeah, I'm an only child, and it has its perks and it has its downfalls, you know? Like, the perks of being an only child is that, you know, you don't have to worry about another child being here, and, you know, you get peace and quiet to yourself a lot. And the downfall is that you don't have that extra, you know, energy around you. So it's kind of like a give or take situation. And with all that said and done, guys, as always, keep it cool.